Hey, welcome back to Smoky Ribs. I'm Russ Jones. Sorry for not having a video last week. Me and my son went over to New Orleans and we brought back a 25-foot sailboat from New Orleans all the way to Biloxi, Mississippi. 2 days of adventure. Whew, kicked my butt, let me tell you. All right, what I'm doing for you today is actually it's a product review on the new CyberQ Cloud. This is a controlling device. And I don't really have a need for something like that, like on a Kamado Joe, because they hold temps perfectly on their own. But let's say you're going to do a brisket, and that's exactly what I'm doing, is a brisket. And it's hot outside, so you're wanting to start late in the afternoon when it's not so hot like right now. Well, you take that brisket, you start it with wood. I've got my cooker up to 250 degrees right now. Hardly any smoke coming out of the stack. Man, this thing is running perfect. So I'm gonna put this brisket in here in a few minutes, gonna season it up. We're gonna put the brisket in. We're gonna probably smoke it till dark. Then I'm gonna show you what I'm doing after that. Stay tuned.
If you wanna cook backyard barbecue till you get your feel, you come to the right place. Russ Jones Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs.
We're gonna open her up, and I'm here to tell you this smoke is perfect, absolutely perfect. These probes is for the CyberQ. That's coming later. Let's go ahead and get our gloves off so I can handle this brisket. Now for now, I'm just going to simply point towards the front, flat towards the back. A good sized brisket. I didn't even look at the weight on this thing. It's nothing special. Believe me, it's nothing like the last brisket video I did using the Lobel's Prime. This is actually a select. It's all I could find at Sam's. I really wish I could find the Prime. I know they carry it at times, but I never can find it. At any rate, this is a select, and I haven't really gauged to see which side's hotter right now. Sometimes I'll get a hotter end over here than I do here. It really depends on my tuning plates. And right now I have them to where it should be running pretty consistent from one end to the other, maybe a 10-degree split from here to here. Overall, it should be the same. So I'll be checking my temperature later on to see what we actually have, if I need to spin it, do something different with it. Okay, now with that said, what I did rub this with is this Heaven Made Products Texas Best Brisket Rub. Haven't tried this yet. I've tried some of his other products and they're absolutely fantastic, so I'll let you know on this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close this lid down. We're going to monitor our pit temps, add wood when I need to. I'm going to probably rock 3-4 hours until the sun goes down. That's when I'm going to show you what I'm going to do as far as letting this be a long cook overnight. I can go in there and get some sleep using the CyberQ Cloud. All right, so any of you that watched my first video I ever did on this Lonestar Grillz offset, then I showed you this charcoal basket. And that's what we're using to finish this cook. I have been going 4 hours on the brisket. It's getting nice color, but we're gonna go ahead and finish with this. The sun's getting ready to go down. I'm gonna drop some hot lit charcoal right down here. Now I'm going to stand that up. That's just a grill grate if you're wondering what that is. It does not come with a charcoal basket. You can take you any kind of piece of sheet metal and do the same thing. Fill that on up with unlit charcoal. Now the owner has already pre-warned me that what's going to more likely happen. Let me pull this out. Yeah, that heats up in a hurry. All right, what he's pre-warned me is that this still is going to get hot enough to where it's more likely going to light it here. In theory, it's supposed to run around like a snake, okay? But more likely it's going to catch on this side at some point. So you're going to have like 2 individual fires going, but it's not going to matter so much because the temperature controller is still going to control the heat, hopefully. So I'm going to place this inside. Push it all the way in. Going to close her up. We're going to close this vent all the way. Now, let's go to the CyberQ port. All right, so what you're hearing is you're hearing the CyberQ. It has reached its target temp. I took it from 250 to 225 mainly because at 250 it's going to cook faster than what I wanted. The whole purpose of this is to get some sleep. So I went down to 225 and we're maintaining within a couple of degrees of that, give or take. So let's go up here and take a look at the CyberQ itself. All right, so I'm showing a temperature of 227, which is a couple of degrees above my target temp, 228. All right, I can live with that. We're at 165 internal. Now I'm going to spend about another hour here and make sure that this holds it where it's supposed to hold it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if this continues to climb, then obviously it's not doing what it's designed to do. So that's what I want to find out. All right, so my first impressions of this charcoal basket and the CyberQ combination is, first off, you could do this 2 ways. You could do this for an entire cook, but you would not get the same smoke flavor like you would do using natural wood. To me, the benefit is like I said earlier, it's hot out here. I don't want to be out here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, and tending to wood. It's just too hot for that. Our heat index is like 118 degrees, believe that or not. It's true. It'll kill you, you know. So we start late in the afternoon. I'm going to utilize this basket to get me through the night in the house, air conditioned, nice and cool, and let this thing do its job. So like I said, this is strictly a review. It's all about an experiment on this and to find out if it's going to do what it's designed to do. If it is, and if I get peace of mind with that, then I'll certainly let you know. But another way, like I said, you could do this from the beginning, but you're going to have to allow this charcoal time to balance out. When I first put that in there, the first thing I did was raise the lid. I took the brisket inside and I wrapped it in pink butcher paper because it had a real heavy off-putting smoke because that charcoal wasn't balanced out yet, hadn't really come up to temp yet. So I wrapped it, and it shouldn't have picked up much of that smoke, if any. Smoke will penetrate butcher paper somewhat, but nothing like if you had it off of there. So you'll find those results out as well. So that's where we're at. I'm getting ready to shut all this down, let this thing do its job. Here in about another hour, I am going to monitor it and make sure that it stays within 2 to 3 degrees of where it's supposed to. All right, we'll be back. Oh, she's down to a trickle now. Every now and then. I have dropped 2 degrees from 230 to 228. And keep in mind, I had this set at 225. It held at 230 for the longest time. Fan in, out, in, out, in, out. All of a sudden, the fan just went dead. It's killed, and I'm at 228. And I think what's going on is it's trying to find itself. If you look down here at the unit, you don't hear anything. So what I'm expecting to happen, and I hope I'm right, when it hits 225, then it's going to maintain my target temperature. I have no idea why it's acting like that, but that's exactly what it's doing. Even though we have no air going in, there's very little smoke coming out. Very, very little. I'll show you again. This vent is completely closed. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's been closed the entire time because I really want to know just how this thing does. 227. We'll know soon. I was right. 227. I was just at 226 and the fan came on twice. I'm hearing it. That's what it's doing. It's trying to find 225, and it's going to maintain it from there. That's exactly what it's doing. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's not down to 225 yet, but it's within 2 degrees. I'm getting more and more impressed with this every minute that I'm watching it. First time ever using it, I've got to figure it out. And so, you know, the Wi-Fi part of this is it uploads in real time everything to a website called Share Your Cook. And you can see all the graphs. You can see everything just the way it happened throughout your entire cook. And there it went. You hear it? Okay. Now let's look at our temperature. 226. I can live with that. I mean, that's within a degree of my target. Oh yeah, I can live with that all day long. But anyway, the Wi-Fi part of this, where am I at here? The Wi-Fi part of this is that it uploads all this data through a cloud, and it goes to the website, and from there you can go in there and you can look at the, you know, live feed, which you see it right in front of you right here on this unit, or you can go after the fact and look at the entire cook, and you can share it as well. I really don't know all there is to know about it. I just opened this package up first thing this morning, read briefly how it all works. But my internal temperature on the food is 170 degrees, so we're looking good. That fan's in and out now. I'm getting very impressed. I've been up since around 6:30, and this thing is went from like 220 is where it was when I come out here, and it's dropping fast, which tells me we're out of charcoal or getting very low on it. And it's daytime, and this thing did perfect all through the night. It was holding 225. I got up at 3:30, still holding like a champ, 225. Took a little while to find itself, but once it did, it held right there. And I'm super impressed with that for the mere fact this is an offset, you know. Just happens to be a really good offset, good and tight, and it allowed this to do its job. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this cook off with some more wood since it's morning time. Earlier at 6:30, I probed my point. My point is right at 200 degrees. I'm showing 179 here on the flat. The flat is actually behind the point, so I spun it. I spun the brisket and I probed it. Point's probing very tender, the flat not so much. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to shut all this down and go back to wood to finish this cook off. So I removed the charcoal basket, went back with some wood. All of it been going about an hour and a half, and I think we're ready. I probed this earlier. It's been going about another 30 minutes. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. All right, let's try the point two. Oh man, that's going through just like butter. 203. That's what I'm talking about. There's that magic number right there, 210. 207. I'm going to pull this. We're going to wrap it with foil. We're going to let it just rest for a good 2, maybe 3 hours. It will continue to cook somewhat in that, and we'll be back. All right, I'm just going to cut right down the middle here and see what we got. It feels mighty tender. Look how jiggly that is. That ain't too bad. Got a little smoke ring. Looks like we still got plenty of juice. It's super tender. For a select, I'd say that's pretty good. Now the ultimate test. Let's do a taste test. First off, this is extremely tender. Pull test. Tell you what, that's not bad for a select. That ain't bad at all. Full of good beef flavor. This rub from Heaven Made Products, outstanding. First time trying that. I'm gonna recap just real quickly what we done. And basically this was an experiment and a review for the CyberQ Cloud. And I don't know, what time was it when we started this? I would say somewhere around 4:30 yesterday afternoon is about when we started this video. And at 7:30, about roughly 3 hours later, is when we swapped over to the CyberQ Cloud. Up to that point, we were smoking with wood, had a nice mahogany color, and I did learn something from this cook. This bark continued to cook, even being wrapped in paper. It's darker than what it was, and it's hard on top, a little hard. It's not burnt. It's perfect in my opinion. But anyway, the CyberQ, well, let me put it like this. If I had to do it over again, here's what I would do. I would have stoked my charcoal basket the exact same way I did, but I think I would let it sit outside the pit for about 20 minutes and let it start catching some of that adjacent charcoal, that cold charcoal, and that would eliminate a lot of that smoke I was getting right from the get-go. And by the way, I can't taste any of that. I didn't think I would because I didn't let it do it long. I opened it, I wrapped it in butcher paper, so that wasn't really an issue. But get your charcoal basket up and going good, put it in your pit, close her up, turn your CyberQ on, and let it find its target temp. Now, as I explained in the video, I hit 230 degrees and boom, it flatlined at 230. It didn't hung like that for about an hour. All of a sudden I heard that motor go off and it just started dropping. It was searching. It was looking for what I had it preset to. Why it done that, I have no idea. I don't know if that's common. I have to do more research and reading on this. Like I said, it's brand new to me, but I do know one thing. It worked absolutely perfect. I really didn't know what to expect being an offset smoker. I know they work good in Kamado Joe's, green eggs, and such as that, but those work good without them, you know. But where you really need it is on something like this offset, and it proven to be a valuable tool for me. So I'm thankful I got the CyberQ Cloud. Thank y'all for sending that out. Was glad to do the review. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Make yourself a brisket. Until next time, smoke your ribs.